Hi everyone, hope you're having a good week so far. So today we're working on due date 6, which we're calling adding more pieces to the annotated bibliography. So this quick overview is going to just talk to you a little bit about how I would kind of handle this assignment and what I'm going to be looking for. So due date 6 is comprised of 2 assignments. The first one is a peer review over in Eli Review, so I'll show you that in a second, in which you're going to be helping each other by giving feedback on your citations and the summaries beneath them. So I'll show you that in just a second. And then the second assignment for this due date is to think about the introduction to your annotated bibliography and start doing some brainstorming research for that. So let's start with the Eli Review. So I've already gone ahead and put you in groups. So when you go over to Eli Review, you will see something that looks a little bit like this. This is the preview mode, so these are fake students, but essentially the idea is the same. Just like last time when we practiced, you're going to see here writers needing feedback. And so these are the writers I've grouped you with, which means that they have submitted work for you to take a look at. And so using what we've talked about with describe, evaluate, and suggest, that 3-part model, you'll see the 2 or 3 writers, depending on how big your group is, who need feedback below. You can also look here. So what you'll do is you can click on, let's say Catherine, let's say she's the first person. Her writing will go here. And the first thing you want to do is look at the trait identification. So this is going to help the other person see if they've formatted their citations according to APA correctly. Remember that even citation generators make mistakes, especially when they pull metadata from websites. So this is where you can really help your peers kind of figure out, are my citations correct? So there's a list here of all the things that they'll need to have. And I will say, this I'd like you to be a little bit more open with, the 2 peer-reviewed sources versus the 2 popular sources. Some of you only have peer-reviewed sources for your annotated bibliographies. So if that's the case, don't count off for that. Just let them know what you see. So I have talked to a couple of you guys about that if that happens to be you. Then here you're going to talk about the summaries. You're going to see if they have a summary, if it's descriptive, that they're not quoting or paraphrasing, because remember this is supposed to be in your own words as the writer and the researcher, and the focus areas that we talked about earlier this week. Then you're going to need to leave 2 comments on the citations that follow that describe, evaluate, suggest format. So I would kind of think about a place where something is unclear, or the writer might add something new, or clarify something that they didn't really get into that they should have, or an area where they may rearrange something. Maybe they have a really good topic sentence at the bottom and need to move it to the top. Whatever you're seeing, that's where you can leave a contextual comment in the draft. And then you want to leave a final comment that considers kind of the overall work, which is sort of how I do with your work. You know, after I read your homework, I like to give an end comment that kind of summarizes my thoughts. So once you're done with that, you're going to send your feedback to Catherine, and then go and do the same thing for Benjamin. And that is all you need to do for this assignment. So if we go back to, let's see, due date 6. Okay, this is the first one. Oh, here. Okay, so for writing introductions, I'm going to show you really quickly. You can complete you can do this a couple of ways. So first you're going to read these 3 selections that I've picked for you. And I want you to pay particular attention to the Student's Guide, 8.8 Strategies for Synthesizing Ideas. And then you're going to choose one of these 3 mind mapping, rewriting exercises, as you might call it. And these are all in the book. And what you're going to do is click on the book, and it's going to take you to chapter 8, strategies, in section 8, strategies for synthesizing ideas. Remember that synthesize means bringing together, right? Analyzing means breaking apart. Synthesize means putting back together. So in this case, that's what you're going to be doing here. You're going to be synthesizing your ideas. And so you can do that one of 3 ways. So let's go down to this is showing you how to map. So if you want to try a mind map, that would be great. If you want to do that, you can choose exercise 8J. That would be like a cluster, a mind map. You can do it online, do it with Post-it notes, colored pencils, markers, whatever you think would be best for you. So if you're a really visual person, I'd recommend that one. The synthesizing in a spreadsheet idea is going to be if you're more of that analytical thinker who likes to see everything in order. And if you're kind of somebody who likes to see connections or big picture stuff, try 8L, which is making targeted connections across all of the articles, the similarities, the differences, things like that, to give you that big picture. So once you do one of those, you're going to upload the activity and use this to draft your introduction in due date number 9. If you're in 197B, the workshop group, you have something called a pick your own adventure assignment, which means you're going to choose something specifically that you want to work on in your writing, and then you're going to go ahead and schedule that second meeting. If you're not in the workshop group, you will schedule your meeting with me in the next due date. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Hope you have a lovely evening.